I've been going a shitload of time, guys. The main reason is because got a spark of creativity from a lot of people leaving comments, talking to people online, whether it's Google Plus, Facebook, playing some games, and wanted to try my hand at publishing, basically putting into writing a lot of the things that I had in my videos, and it is hard. Just the grind of sitting down, writing, typing, editing, not losing focus, having enough time to do it. It's crazy, dudes and ladies. So, but my real passion is basically just like if it's on the top of my head, I'm just going to talk about it. So, been going a long time. Got a bunch of products, old and new. Picked up some new things. Tried to catch up on a bunch of actual plays, a bunch of other people's videos, their blogs and posts and things like that. And just want to get back into it. I will try to produce something for free, probably through a drive-through RPG. It's going to take me longer than I thought it would. I was hoping it would take me like a month, and it's going to be even longer than that. So, but when I do, it'll be free. I want to try my hand at it. I want to give out something to support the community, and if that works and I am able to get past that first hurdle, I may try to, produce things online for, like pay what you want or something like that. There's no way you can, support yourself on doing RPG stuff part-time. But I can do videos for free, so I'm back. So let me get to the point. Talking about products old and new, I'm not a really big person that likes to do reviews. I didn't plan on, nor did I want this channel to be a product review channel. And I plan to keep it that way. Basically, it's just, hey, what sparks my interest, talk about it, get people to discuss it, agree, disagree, go back and forth, that kind of thing. But looked on my old shelf and, blew the dust off, and I had to talk about a particular product that I think was way ahead of its time, and it's a game called Everway. And I wanted to describe it. Instead of reviewing products like, what the binding is and how it came or something like that, I'm going to review it from a personal standpoint, how I played it, how I used it, how compare and contrast the abilities and the things that I think are sweet. But Everway, let's see, come on in here. Everway was the back end is actually open. That's why I'm holding it strangely. Everway is a diceless role-playing game. Came out in the 90s. I should have Googled it before I started doing this video, and it had some specifics about who created it and when it was created. But oh well, that's what the internet's for. Everway. Anyway, Everway was created as vaguely the role-playing game version of Magic the Gathering. And it is not a direct correlation. So you don't play a planeswalker that summons, plains and mountains and creatures or anything. But you are actually playing within the world that is created by Magic the Gathering. And it was a diceless role-playing game. Or it is a diceless role-playing game. And I bet if you look for it, I think I purchased it for brand new for like $35, and it was considered pretty expensive back in the 90s. I think today you might be able to find it for $60 to $100, brand new, and there's a reason why too. Other than the fact, I want to say the last name was Tweet, the gentleman who wrote it, and I still think is ahead of his time, even though it failed because of the price point and Other than this game and Amber, there might have been one or two other diceless role-playing games that hit the market about the same time. And at the time, most role-playing games, you know, Vampire was huge. People weren't going towards diceless. But I love how the system works. So I'm going to show you the 3 things that I feel that that should be resurrected and used, and if you can find the game, why you would love Everway. All right. The first part is character creation. Now there's no way I can show you every one of these cards, but these quote-unquote expansion cards came with this box, okay? Now, this is a huge stack of cards. About half of these came with the box, and the other half were an expansion set. And each one of these cards, I can't show you all of them, so let me just grab a stack. Each one of these cards had a picture on it, okay? And just a picture on the front, there we go, picture on the front of people, an environment, a location, or what have you. And so character creation, oh, let me show you what was on the back. Now you have all these cards, okay, and bam, kind of Conan-esque picture right there. But you'd have a card as such. There's like a moon, there's a person standing there, and on the back of every one of these cards, there were questions. That's it. So, for example, this particular this particular card has the question on it: why has this man drawn his sword? What significance does his necklace have, if any? What responsibilities does he have to his family or community, if any? Why is he in this place at this hour? All right? So every one of these pictures has this attached to it. So you'll have a picture like this, and then on the back it says what are these people looking at, which one of them is in charge, who are their worst enemies, and what's the saddest thing that's ever happened to them. Right? So you've got a ton of these cards, ton of cards, ton of them. Okay, that's 1/4 of them. There we go. There's 1/4 of them. All right, and every single one of these cards is designed to spark some kind of information or dialogue or get your brain going. Who is the small figure in the distance? Why is the man on the right carrying a coil of rope? What is the large white creature doing with his right hand? What is this place? All right? It's written right on the back here. Okay? Character creation. Pass these cards around to everyone at the table. Everyone picks a card. You just say, hey, listen, flip through them real quick. Any picture that grabs your attention, put it in front of you. Pick 5 of them. That is your character. You're like, well, what the hell? Like, that's my character? Well, you use those 5 images. Say you pick this one. It could mean anything. It could be, this is a place you've been to. It could be your childhood. It could be a dream you had. It could be an omen of what is to come in the future. It could be anything that represents your character. It could be the thoughts and dreams, your desires for the future. It could be an enemy that you dispatched. It could be a creature that destroyed your village. It could be anything. You make it up. And the whole point was not to overthink it. You grab a card, you go, hey, what's this? Hey, there's a picture of something. What is that? You know? And then you look at the things on the back. Maybe if you're like, I like the picture, but I have no idea what it is. And it says, what does this machinery do? Who built it? What powers the machinery? How does this machinery affect the community around it? Okay? So, that's the first step. Second step is to get a character. Okay? So, we have ourselves a character sheet. Let me get a blank one here. And this is the Everway character sheet on the front. And then simple things on the back. Magic and powers, background on the second one, and then right down here, possessions. All right? And at the top here, you have yourself, you got your, your name, you got a motive, just come up with something, and then you have virtue, fault, and fate. All right. Now, if I can show you an actual character sheet that they printed up, they give you 12 of these. That's what it looks like. It's already pre-printed. And on the other side, you've got picture. She's really cool. And then you've got your magic and powers over here. You've got the background right in here. Little descriptor of their things. And then possessions and some questions. All right. So then you're like, well, what does all that mean? Well, because it's diceless, right down here, all right, you have yourself, let's see, right at the top is air, and then right over here is water, right down here is earth, and then my other hand, there's fire. And then you put numbers in there. You've got about 20 points. You put those numbers in there. And then you can pick either magic power. You have your powers. You can spend some points in there. And then you have magic over here. You can spend some points in there. And then this symbol here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. You can only spend up to 6 points. And over here in magic, 7-sided. You can only spend up to 7 points. And all these total equal to 20 points. That's cool, right? If you are able to see even closer under air, you do have yourself spoken, focused, and right down here is thought. Right? Spoken, focused, and thought. And so spoken words, your thoughts, and how your focus is, that's based on air. We go down here to earth, you've got yourself, whoa, across from thought is might. Right down here, we've got resistance, and over here is being passive, so on and so forth. And then, on the larger circle, you have over here wisdom. And wisdom is a combination of your air and your water. And then, right down here, you have yourself power. And your power is a combination of your fire and earth. All right? And then over here, we've got energy. And your energy is a combination of your air score and your fire score. And right down here, we have intensity and integrity. And integrity is a combination of, where are we at? Of your water score and your earth score. Okay? So, seems kind of complicated too. Because you have these things up here. Virtues, faults, and your fate. So, how do you adjudicate anything? Like, how do you fight? Where are the hit points? How much damage do you do? Where are my feats? Where are my skills? All those things. Well, there are some skills in here. For example, let's see. She has particular skills. So, under her water score right here, there's a little word right here, and it says stealth. So, she has a 3 score for her water, but is considered 4 when she uses stealth. Up here for air, she has a 3 for her air score, but when she's using etiquette, it's considered 4. So, normally you match the numbers. Hey, if the person has 2 or below, she wins. If they are equal, 3 and 3, then you have to adjudicate it, and then so on and so forth. If she's using stealth or etiquette, these are considered 4. So if she goes up against someone 3 or less, she wins, and then you just describe it. But sometimes it's not even that simple because it's not just win or lose. All right? It's not just win or lose. One last thing for this game. Tarot cards. Yes, Everway uses tarot cards to adjudicate the randomness of what happens in a particular situation. Right? So, we got ourselves a young lady, Amber, who, according to her powers on the back, she is a were-tiger. And Amber can turn into a tiger or a two-legged half-tiger. She also has Silence of the Hunter. When stalking her enemies, Amber becomes almost undetectable and resistance to death magics. Magical abilities that specifically kill instantly only incapacitate Amber, but other magics harm her normally. Alright? So she's got these special abilities. She can turn into a were-tiger. You can see that there is a definite multiculturalness about this game that I absolutely love. I'm going to show you the pictures on the back of all of these characters, and I love the artwork for it. That kind of a watercolor makes it seem kind of ancient. I just absolutely love it. High quality game, kind of too expensive for its time, but like I said, well worth it. Well worth it. Anyway, you use tarot cards to adjudicate what happens. So you draw a card, and each tarot card has a particular saying. If you're not familiar with tarot cards, I'll show them to you in a minute. But each tarot card has a particular focus to it, a particular suit or a particular arena that it represents. All right. Oops, that's the blank character sheet. There we go. All right. So, for example, you got the tarot cards. That's what they look like on the back. This is what they look like on the front. All right. So we got ourselves law. Right. Law, and underneath it you see order, and when it's flipped over, you have treachery. Okay. So you confront some goblins. Player characters are like, okay, I've got goblins, my fire score, which is like my energy, that's like my fighting. I draw a card randomly, and I draw out Striking the Dragon's Tail. Right? And underneath the bottom of it, it says, underestimating the challenge, or recognizing the larger problem. All right? So, the player character now, in this fight, in order to, quote-unquote, succeed or to gain a bonus, to adjudicate what happens, the game master and the players will decide, based on the card, how that conflict turned out. So, for example, if the game master pulled this, and it says striking the dragon's tail, underestimating the challenge, now the game master will say, okay, I'm going to hold this to the side. Maybe there's something far more powerful that's going to happen. If the characters eliminate the goblins, they've just uncovered something far more powerful. Maybe they are in league with a far more powerful agent. Or the player characters can use this to their benefit and go, you know what? There's something strange lurking here. These goblins would not normally attack us like this. There's something bigger and far more dangerous around the corner. Okay? And lastly, getting back to Amber again. Lastly, at the top of the character sheet, under virtue, right? If whatever your virtue is, like hers is summer, it's energy. And that means that she's more likely than not to succeed or to use that virtue to allow her to succeed. In essence, it would be the equivalent of having this card already on her character sheet that she can use one time during that game. And in the middle here is the fault, and her fault is the Fool reversed, which means lack of connection, right? And all of these things tell a story about her life. Summer, the Fool reversed, or lack of connection. Summer's energy. And lastly is fate. And that is something fated to happen to her, and it's knowledge. Truth versus falsehood. And so someone could make the connection that since she's a half-were creature and her people are were creatures and such, are they cursed? Are they heroes? You know, do they live in a warm, tropical, summer-type area? You come up with anything, all right? Great game. Sorry. I just had to put it out there. I know a lot of people are just like, what the hell is he talking about? He turned this off, whatever. But this game also came with two blank character sheets. This is a full color version of the one that they have for the 12 characters. This is a black and white version to photocopy and put on each side. I'm not sure if there's very much support out there for it. I do know there is a website where people back from the 90s to maybe the mid-2000s kept a lot of support for it, and people came up with some great things. This game was not based on combat. It was all like theater of the mind. Now, the last part about Everway and the world that it involved, because I said it was based on Magic the Gathering, all of the player characters can walk the planes. There are these doorways that lead to different worlds. And the idea of the game was your player characters could come from the same or different, basically realms, different universes, and different worlds. And all the worlds, the time moves at the same rate. So if it's noon on your world, it's noon somewhere else. If an hour passes there. And all of the realms were very, how can I say, tribal. Technology is basically supposed to be lower medieval. Sorry. Thanks, Cat. Lower medieval, I would say more, I'll go even maybe back before then. I'd probably go towards ancient Greek and Roman era. But anyway, technologically, it's a medieval style game. But your player character can come from any world. You can design your own world. I come from a jungle world. I come from a world that's an entire city. I come from a world that's completely underground. I come from a world that's eternally at war. I come from a world where the gods sit on a Mount Olympus above us, etc. And it was, in essence, you could use the same worlds, the same realms from the game Magic the Gathering, if you wanted to, or not. And use those same creatures or not, and those environments or not. And to use those cards literally, meaning that if there's a Minotaur, use a Minotaur Magic, the Gathering card, you would encounter a Minotaur. A holy suit of armor would be a holy suit of armor. And you would tell these great stories as you went from plane, you could move from dimension to dimension, plane to plane. And you did it through these doorways. Only the player characters could travel from one doorway to the next. And, of course, bring with them their stories and their cultures and things like that. So, I know I rambled quite a bit, but I just wanted to talk about a diceless role-playing game. They are not new, and they've been around a long time. And some of them, I think, were just ahead of their time. Some of the ability to adjudicate things, like with playing cards, with character creation, really, they just got away from major battles. It was all theater of the mind. So it wasn't about counting 5-foot steps. It wasn't about miniatures. It wasn't about making battle maps. It was about engaging in stories, making connections with people, discovering things about yourself, discovering things about others, and having players come in and out to literally each player character could create their own world, and the game master could then explore the world they came from, and that player character could explore it, and they themselves could become the focus, the spotlight. They become the star of the show. So anyway, yeah, I've been going along. I've been trying to create, and it's just not working. I mean, it is working. I will do it. It's a challenge to me. It was a challenge put out to me, and I take it as a personal challenge to me. So yes, definitely going to do it, and I hope to put some products out soon, put them out for free. Maybe people can enjoy it, and thanks guys, and for those who are still subscribed and still want to listen to me and hear me ramble or something, thank you very much. So again, I'm DBJ, and as always, create, don't destroy, and discover some of these old games, and not necessarily rehashing them or create them, but try to discover the original. There's a lot of little hidden gems that have come out in role playing throughout the years, and so just don't forget about them. These are some awesome things. So, lastly, Everway, diceless role playing game. Thank you very much.